Here's some of the components that make up the flagship products. So these are the areas of focus for you. The first thing you're going to focus on is market share. Second thing is financial viability. The third thing is opportunities. The fourth is the trend. And fifth is celebrity. We're going to break down each of those 5 here individually. The first one I'm going to break down right here on this video, and that's market share. So here's the things that we look at when we think about market share. The first thing we do is look at the universe. How many existing customers are there that you can realistically expect to reach? So universe is a technical marketing term. Some markets, for example, like weight loss, is a massive universe. In the United States, that's like 1 out of 3 adults. I shouldn't laugh at that, okay? I laugh at the absurdity of how big that market is. On the flip side, if you look at the universe of a market of, say, for example, one-legged little people who suffer from erectile dysfunction, that universe is very small. Maybe 5 people in the whole world, hopefully. No more than 5. So that's those are 2 different markets. One has a big universe, one has a small universe. Obviously, we're probably going to fall somewhere in between there. And so here's layer number 2 then. How many can you expect to realistically reach? So if a market share, if the universe of a market, if we just say it, and you never will really truly know a number, but I'll just use a number to make the point simple. Let's just say there's 100,000 potential customers that currently exist in your market. Then how much of a share can you get of those? If you say, well, gee, in X number of years, I believe I can penetrate that market and acquire 15% of those customers, that means you can get 15,000 paying customers realistically. And 15% of a market penetration is kind of big. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, right? But 50% penetration is very powerful. Like in our thing, internet marketing, I don't know how big the universe is, but we have about 50,000 paying customers. And that is pretty much the upper echelon of that universe that anybody can really expect to get. I don't see many people getting more paying customers than that are purely internet marketing kind of related. So you say total in the universe and how many can I expect to reach? Now the second thing here is ownership. Does somebody already have a claim to these customers and have they slapped golden handcuffs onto them? So I'll give you 2 examples here. First example, say somebody owns the software called Lead Pages. So Lead Pages was made to create and help you set up certain landing pages like, sales pages, opt-in pages, webinar funnels, and so forth, right? Is that customer going to be so entrenched with Lead Pages that they would never adopt to a different type of web page builder, say such as ClickFunnels, which is the second example here, which is very similar in lots of ways to Lead Pages on building and deploying opt-ins and sales funnels and so forth, right? In this situation, it's been proving that customers are willing to cancel Lead Pages and move over to ClickFunnels, or in addition to owning Lead Pages, also buy ClickFunnels. So there is no golden handcuffs on there. This is an example of a customer in this universe who's never been claimed. And maybe they can't be claimed with this particular example, or maybe they can, and you want to claim them, and do you think you can claim them? Now, there's other instances, like I'll give you a really good one, Infusionsoft. So this is a customer, really it's a CRM. I can't remember what CRM stands for these days. Customer Relationship Management, or something like that, right? And it's a shopping cart and it's affiliate portal all in one. And it's not even that great on a lot of those areas. In a lot of those areas, it leaves a lot to be desired. But here's the problem. A lot of people have their email lists in there, have all their existing affiliates in there. They have all their products in there. They have everything tied up into it. They've probably bought third-party things that integrate and connect with it. It is going to be incredibly hard for them to drop Infusionsoft and adopt a new shopping cart platform. And so that is probably an example that has golden handcuffs slapped on these customers. So if we're looking at that universe of potential customers and we know that there's a certain penetration in the market that Infusion has that's going to be hard to replace, then we can't realistically expect to reach that. So we have to take that out of the equation as well. And then the last thing here that I always look at is fickleness. Are customers okay with keeping you as a mistress at the very least? And how likely are they to keep somebody else as a mistress? And what I mean by this is, do customers feel some sort of loyalty or do they feel some sort of unease? And I've seen this happen with customers where they'll say, boy, Jason, I'd like to buy X, but I already own Y, and I feel like I'll be betraying the vendor at Y if I go over and use X. Now, I'll tell you, mostly customers are selfish, and I love them for it. They just want the best solution possible. But sometimes there are those additional considerations as well where they hate, or they feel uneasy at least, either frequenting more than one person on the same topic, or if they do one, they won't do the other. I like customers who are almost one-way loyal. They're not loyal to anybody else, but they're loyal to me. And I ask myself, what part of the market segment is like that? Is any part like that? How can I reach that part while also reaching a certain other percentage of market penetration within that universe? And it's important you need to know market share, because why? Because this is how you're going to estimate how much potential revenue is there. That is important. Because if you look at internet marketing, there's actually not as much revenue potential there as you think, because if you look at historically what all the biggest launches have done, and then you factor out all the cost involved, it's a good chunk of money, don't get me wrong. And many people would kill for it, but I'm like, we can do better than that. And that's why we're expanding into markets like WordPress, for example, to help get that, and also create offers that can bring in new customers into the market. But we'll talk about that here when we get into the trend session. But market share is where you start thinking at the 50,000 foot level. How big is this market? How many of these customers can we expect to reach? Out of those that we expect to reach, how many of them can we slap our golden handcuffs onto?